What's up? Good evening. Happy New Year. What's up? What's up? Happy full moon in Cancer. The full moon is at its peak right now as I am doing this live stream. How's everybody feeling? Who's in the live chat as far as the full moon in Cancer? Yes, the moon was full at its peak about an hour ago, from what I know. So yeah, how's everybody feeling? I'm having actually somebody texting me right now telling me how emo they are. I had a little bit of a crying spell earlier too, so it's a very emotional full moon. But it's really a great full moon for manifesting dreams and desires and all of that good stuff. It may have to have a good cry at first, but still, you know. So what's up, everybody? How you doing? This is April, and my channel is under Pisces Moon Goddess, as you can see if you're tuning in. I've let you guys know a couple times that this may actually change. I may actually be doing some rebranding pretty soon. But anyway, I'm here to talk about 2018 from an astrological perspective. What's going on? What are the biggest transits that are going on? What are some predictions? I'm not really too big on world predictions, to be honest. That's not really like my thing. But I do have a list of like all the most major ones of 2018. And oh, hey, what's up? Oh, hey, Patty, what's up? Patty's here. Patty said, feeling good, Virgo rising here, moon in Virgo. You were emotionally last night, but you lit your candle. Yes, this is really a good full moon for doing anything ritualistic that can bring you peace and harmony and all that good stuff. I do have a live stream that I did on the full moon a few days ago. So go check that out, your full moon forecast for every single sign. And the timestamps are below in the comments of the video. So, thank you. Oh, what's up, Ark? Hey, girl. Good to see you here. And Cherry Strawberry, what's up? And Claire's here. HFTL is always in the house. What's going on? So, 2018, we're here. Merry New Year, everybody. Ha, 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 ha. Beef jerky time. If you're old like me, you'll know what movie that's from. But anyway, so happy New Year, happy 2018, as I discussed in my full moon video. This year, it vibrates the energy of the number 11, and it also vibrates the energy of the number 2. So in numerology, those numbers, go look them up, research them. There's an 11-11 going on because the full moon was at 11 degrees of Cancer. Sun is at 11 degrees of Capricorn, and then making an aspect to Neptune at 11 degrees of Pisces. So yeah, that 11-11 energy is on hit today. Thank you. Yes, I'm all purple today because of all the feminine energy in the air. So let's talk about 2017. Just kind of recap a little bit. What were the major transits that happened? That that means the planets going into new signs. As far as the ones that have the longer term transits, like Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, Pluto, am I missing one? Uranus, all of, like, most of them, they stay in a sign for a long period of time. And then when any of those planets shift into a new sign, it does bring something different, like a newness to like the era. It does affect like the times, you know what I'm saying? Like what we are doing as a collective, what's popular, what's unpopular, and all that stuff. I would say one of the biggest things about 2017, which I still plan on making a video about it, is Jupiter moving into Scorpio. Because if you guys know, 2017, a lot of stuff started coming to the surface that was Scorpio themed, like sexual misconduct and rape and all of that stuff, just people being nasty, okay? And they were outed, and this is still happening. It's still continuing. I'm noticing that. That goes for Hollywood. That even goes for YouTube. There's even some YouTube stuff, drama going on right now where someone is alleging this and that about somebody, you know, being a pedophile and like, just, I don't know. There's just, that's trickled into the YouTube world too. And even let me know, you guys, if any of that like allegations and exposing people and all that stuff has trickled into, like, say, the corporate world, like where you work, or like any place where there's like a hierarchy. Let me know if you guys have experienced like any of those people being called out, okay? Like called out on their mess. Like, you know, for example, if there's been any allegations against anyone for just like doing some like seedy, shady stuff, you know, because the reason why is because Jupiter is the sign of expansion and magnification, and Scorpio is a sign of secrets. It's the sign of like things that are hidden away, and it's a sign of the taboo, and so that's being magnified, right? And then we've got Saturn in Capricorn and Pluto in Capricorn, and those are both very powerful energy planets, and they rule power, and Capricorn rules power too. It rules like people that are in high positions. So those people are coming tackled down, okay? They're getting taken down. So I would say those are the biggest transits that happened in 2017. The biggest shifts is Jupiter in Scorpio and Saturn in the sign of Capricorn. Jupiter stays in a sign for a year, so it'll be in Scorpio till November 2018. And I do have a personalized Jupiter and Scorpio forecast available on my website. So go check that out under specials. I'll tell you how that transit affects you over the next year. How can you really capitalize on it for success and growth and abundance? And what should you watch out for? Because Jupiter is a happy energy. It's positive and all that good stuff, but still there could be times where Jupiter kind of like expands things that aren't so great, and you may have to watch out for some stuff. And also Saturn in Capricorn. A lot of you have been emailing me about the Saturn in Capricorn forecast. Yes, it's still available. As long as Saturn will be in Capricorn, honey, I will be doing Saturn in Capricorn forecast. So, and they will stay at the same price too. So go to my website below for that as well to see how that transit affects you personally. But those are the biggest ones, I would say. And then in 2018, we do have more planetary shifts that are going to affect us on a wide, broad scale, and also like on a smaller scale as well. And my screen keeps freezing up, y'all. I don't know what's going on, but it's not letting me see everything that you're saying in the chat. Let's see. As an Aqua rising, Cap Sun, Libra moon, Jupiter hasn't done shit for you, girl. Let me see. Okay, so Aquarius rising. This is also a Q&A video, you guys. So if you have any general questions about any of the upcoming astrological transits and how they will affect you, let me know, because I'm not going to do every sign for all this stuff, because yo, this is already going to be a long video. Okay, I don't want it to be like 3-4 hours. So if you have any general questions like regarding your sun or rising moon sign, then let me know and I'll answer. So Arc is an Aquarius rising. So Jupiter is a planet of expansion and all that good stuff, happy-go-lucky, opportunities and everything. But don't forget that the planet Jupiter itself, it's made of like gases and hot air, right? And you know that expression that people say like, oh, you're just blowing hot air out, like meaning you're saying stuff, but do you actually mean what you say? Or promising more than you can deliver. So sometimes Jupiter's energy can be that way, promise more than you deliver. And sometimes you may not experience the opportunities and growth that Jupiter can bring until it has gone through its retrograde cycle, which it'll do every single time it's in a sign. So once it's gone retrograde and then gone forward again, and then maybe towards the end of the transit, then maybe you can see the rewards that you reap. And as an Aquarius rising arc, you should be seeing some good things happening as far as public recognition or advancement within your career, some sort of way, at least being recognized or talked about in a positive way, hopefully. Amongst higher ups if you do work at a job. And if you are doing anything on social media to where you would want to gain a following, this is a good transit for that too, Jupiter and Scorpio for Miss Arc. You have a beautiful profile picture. She said her Scorpio boyfriend has been doing nothing but promising shit and not delivering. Girlfriend, yes, it can make people so overly optimistic. Jupiter's energy can, that they're just like, everything is awesome, and just blurt out a bunch of stuff and not even follow through with it. That can happen sometimes. It all depends on the person, how they choose to react to the energy, how they choose to act. But yeah, like some Jupiterian people can be like that, and going through a Jupiter transit through your sign, some people can actually act like that. So Claire says, Sun in Aries, Moon in Pisces, Virgo rising. You haven't felt any shift so far. Virgo rising. Well, for Virgo risings, let's see. You guys have Jupiter in your third house. That's not really like a major like life-changing transit, to be honest. But you guys do have Saturn in your fifth house. That's not super major life-changing unless you plan on having some babies. Then it may bring you some of those. Oh, Ark said she's gonna start a YouTube channel. Oh, you did tell me over there, didn't you? But you're nervous. No, girl, listen. You and any other Aquarius is watching, especially Aquarius rising. Jupiter being in your sign over the next year, if you are trying to do something on social media, this is when I have seen people gain bigger followings. I did it myself during Jupiter in the 10th when it was in Leo. I collaborated with a lot of people. I finally stopped being so camera shy, and that's when I started my YouTube for real, was when Jupiter was in my 10th house. Any other YouTubers that I follow very closely and I know their charts, I have seen them when Jupiter's in their 10th house. That's when they gain a following. And then when it's in their 11th house, that's the house of big groups of people and networks. So then they start networking more. So yes, girl, get it. Do that YouTube thing. Let's see. So, the millennial sorry. Soul Scribe says, let me see. Scorpio rising, Virgo sun, Sag moon at 29 degrees. Any insights on how you would use the first part of the year with Saturn going into your third? Scorpio rising. Okay, I'm a Scorpio rising, so I can tell you all about that. What I have noticed so far with Saturn in the third house, being a Scorpio rising, is I do feel the urge to go back and relearn some things or to learn new things. I feel like automatically, right, because it's at 0 degrees, that's so potent and fresh that we're just like, the energy could be like that once a planet shifts into a sign right away at that 0 degree. So anyhow, what I've noticed is I have started feeling a little bit more serious in the way that I speak and communicate. And I do feel more on a mission, like I want to read more in depth about things. I want to research more. So definitely anything that you have to do in your life as a Scorpio rising that requires lots of knowledge and research, you will feel like putting more energy there. And that's how it can benefit you. I don't know what you do for a living, but in anywhere, I mean, come on, every career, every job nowadays, guys, doesn't it all require communication skills, typing, texting, emailing, like all that stuff, media skills, sales, every freaking thing is sales. Anything in regards to those subjects, those topics, or those skills, you can learn, or any type of new skill that you want to learn. Or like I said, going back and relearning some stuff. Because if you're a Scorpio rising, also Jupiter, the planet of learning too, higher learning, is in your sign this year. So I would say 2018 for Scorpio and Scorpio rising people is really dope for getting on your learning game, like acquiring lots of knowledge and skills that you can apply towards your career. Because also the North Node is still up there in your 10th house, okay? So that means acceleration towards career. So anyhow, let's see. Very true. You're learning new things, more adamant on how you come across to others. Yes, I hear you. And you know what? I like to shortcut and abbreviate when I type sometimes. I noticed as soon as Saturn went to Capricorn, that went out the window. I feel the need to like write like full words, you know what I'm saying? Because you know how Capricorn energy is like the grumpy grandpa of the zodiac, like like the grammar, it's like one of those like grammar Nazis is like Capricorn and Virgo are like big on that. So that's how I feel. It's crazy. Yeah, so Claire says, what are my goals this year for myself? Oh, well, I'm here to give you guys this forecast, but if you're asking about me, my goals for this year, well, I am going to be doing some rebranding of my brand here on YouTube and my social media platforms. I do plan on teaching classes, astrology classes, so you guys can stay tuned for that. Yes, Simone, you're right, girl. Grumpy grandpa, but you guys look younger as you age. That is so true about Capricorns. I really admire you guys for that. But yeah, anyway, my goals are just more media work. I mean, Saturn in the third is working hard on media. And yeah, teaching classes. Like, I really want to teach some dope astrology classes. You guys know me. I'm like not like super boring scientist. Saturn in the third is kind of trying to make me be that way, but I try to make things fun and entertaining, even when teaching. So I do want to teach some classes in astrology. That's one of my biggest goals this year. Thank you for asking. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, yes, I will be answering you guys' questions and stuff in the chat, but for everybody, for all of us as a collective, because people will be watching the replay, I'm going to be talking about the biggest transits of 2018, what we have to watch for, like what's the energy going to be like this year. Yeah, just the starting off this year with this full moon right now in Cancer. And how I talked about the numerology of it, the number 2 vibration, the 11 vibration, like the Cancer energy, what it represents. And then we're going to have later on this year, the South Node transit into Cancer too. There's just a lot of Cancer themes. And I think we're going to have an eclipse. We're going to have an eclipse in Cancer this year as well. I'm going to go over all the dates, okay? But we will have an eclipse in Cancer. So this full moon is not the end of the whole Cancer energy theme for the year 2018, okay? Like, we still have some stuff coming up. So I would say read up, study up on the energy of Cancer. If you are a Cancer, you know, look more into your gifts as a Cancer. If you know any Cancers, learn from them, like the positive attributes of them, the way how they like really care and nurture for people, how sometimes they can be very selfless, not the selfless to a fault, okay, to where they like, you know, end up resenting people for like taking advantage of them, not that stuff, but how Cancer people can just feed everybody, make sure everybody's okay. If you know Cancers, like a lot of times Cancer people will have their house full of people. Like, there's this Cancer homegirl I used to have. She done disappeared years ago. We don't know where she went. But we used to always make fun of her and say she always takes in a bunch of strays at her house. It's so true. Like, she always had random people coming in and living with her family and not family and all this stuff. So like, Cancer people are known for that. A lot of times they will invite people into their home, take care of them, and all of that stuff. So yeah, like, just tap into the energy of Cancer. And then wherever Cancer is in your chart, look to where it is in your chart. And that's an area that's going to be a really one of many areas of big focus for this year, and what you're going to need to tap into the gifts of and give to everybody else so that we can all work together. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, there's some crazy stuff going on this year. A Stark says, you just bought, oh, you did. Okay, I think I know who you are. Yes, if you have not already, take advantage of the sale I have going on. It's only going on until midnight. For me, where I'm at, it's midnight my time. So that's another 3 hours and 15 minutes. I'm having a one-day sale, you guys. 50% off of select readings. Select. Okay, there's a flyer on my website. There's a flyer on my Instagram, on my Facebook, on my Twitter, all that stuff. 50% off of certain readings. The ones that are a little bit more higher cost, I am giving you guys 50% off for the day to celebrate Happy New Year, Happy 2018. Start off the year with some great astrological insights. As I always tell you guys, I put a lot into readings. I'm an intuitive astrologer, so I don't just read data and stats and all that. No, like, I tap into your energy like remotely, for real. So I put a lot into the readings, my heart and soul into them. So if you have never had a reading from me, you want to know what it's like, you know, you're curious, I'm having a sale. So go check it out. I have a link below this video too. If you missed the sale, I'm so sorry if you're watching the replay later and you missed the sale, but I always have sales randomly or for holidays. So never fear. But anyway, so what's up, Gary? Gary is one of my ride or dies now. He's always coming through. So 2018. Okay, so already talked about the full moon a little bit. The full moon's happening right now. Bask in it. All right, bask in the energy. Put your crystals out. Take a long bath. Have a good cry. I'm telling you guys, even though I'm a Pisces moon, I'm not like the biggest crier, like cry all the time, because I have a lot of, because besides the moon, all my other personal planets are in Taurus. And Taurus, you know, Taurus can just sit there like the sitting bull, just like emotionless. You know what I'm saying? Like no expression. And so that's how I can be most of the time. But that moon in Pisces can give me a good cry. Today I had a good cry. I had a good cry, like the ugly Kim Kardashian cry, y'all. I had that today under this Cancer moon. Let some things out, and now I'm here. I'm centered. Let's do this. What's up, Eve? Happy New Year, girl. Happy New Year. So yes. Oh, yes. It's hard for some of you guys to cry. Air dominant, Capricorn. Yes, I hear you on that. So that full moon, still take advantage of that energy. It's still very potent right now through tonight, probably through tomorrow morning. Yes, Arc, I will be talking about that too. Thank you, girl. So that's the next thing I'm talking about. She's on it. So on the 3rd of January, Uranus goes direct. The planet Uranus, if you guys have gotten readings from me or you've seen my videos before, you know that as a weird Pisces moon and Uranus in the first house person, I always like imagine the planets as being like people, like characters. And that's how I describe the way that the planets energies are and what they do for us and how they make us feel, how they make our lives like change and stuff like that. So Uranus is a really kooky, mad scientist dude just throwing things together in the lab, hoping that they don't blow up in his face. And even if they do, he laughs. Uranus is like a really crazy guy with crazy hair sitting up there on a cloud, throwing lightning bolts down randomly and seeing what happens when they crash upon us. Okay, imagine that. So when that planet was retrograde, it was kind of like the crazy, the unexpected, the weird, was like more internalized and like calmed down. But now Uranus is moving forward. So Uranus is also one of those planets that when you experience a transit of Uranus in your sign, so if you're in Aries, you know what I'm talking about right now, okay? You guys have been through some crazy over the last 7 years. But Uranus's transits are like you have a lightning bolt up your ass. Like it really is. Like you're just encouraged and influenced to just suddenly change things out of the blue. It's like your life. It's the Tower card in tarot. If you guys have never seen the Tower card in tarot, look it up because it shows like this tower like burning, right? And lightning striking behind it and people are jumping out of the building. Ah! You know, that's literally what happens to your life sometimes when you experience a Uranus transit. So now it's moving forward. Now, wherever you have Aries in your chart, that is where you're going to proceed to be more like, I need to be true to me. I need to be true to myself. I need to change. I'm itching for a change. Uranus's energy also like when it hits you directly, it is like you get the heebie-jeebies. You know what I'm saying? Like you really get the heebie-jeebies and you have to like jump up and change something, or you feel like you're allergic to something. Like for example, as a Scorpio rising, Uranus is in my 6th house of work. So that's one of the reasons why I got all this nervous energy last year when working at a regular job and sitting at a desk all day. And everything gave me the heebie-jeebies, you guys, like everything, like every little noise, everything around me. And it really made me have a nervous breakdown. And I feel like whenever people want to ask me like, oh, here's a job referral for some like soul draining cubicle job, I'm like, oh, no. I used to be like, well, let me see the pay of the location. Now I'm like, oh, hell to the no. Never again. I'm not even looking at how much it pays. I don't care. It's not true to me. So wherever Aries is at in your chart, whether it's based on your sun sign or your rising sign, that's kind of what you're experiencing, you know? And so now with Uranus moving forward, it's like more of that, like back to that again, increasing and being like, no, like I have a lightning bolt up my butt and I need to change, or I need to just feel free to fly around on this lightning bolt, you know, not let anybody stop me. Oh, the Millennial Soul Scribe says, very true. I was going through it. Yes. And you are a Scorpio rising too. Claire says, you've been feeling that way about work, but the pay is great, but the people are so negative. Claire, remind me, girl, what is your rising sign and your sun sign? Ark says, shh, I ain't trying to sell out. Yeah, I know. That's how it can feel sometimes when Uranus transits through your work house. So if you are a Pisces or Pisces rising, a Scorp, like any of the water sign, oh no, Pisces or Pisces rising, right? Because Aries is your second house of how you earn your money. Or if you are a, if you're a Cancer, all the water signs have been going through it with jobs, like having to switch up career and stuff with Uranus and Aries. So, yeah, that's where it's been affecting the water signs. The earth signs, it's been more in like an emotional and spiritual place. For Capricorn's been having to move a lot, I've noticed, with Uranus and Aries. Been having to move suddenly. Like my husband's a Capricorn rising. This time of year, when Uranus went direct a few years ago, we had to suddenly move because our house got broken into and we were like, we ain't living here anymore. No, F that. And we just suddenly moved. And now Uranus is going direct in a few days. And guess what? We have to suddenly move again. And I'm like, I blame him and his Cappy rising because for Caps, Uranus is transiting through that, you know, that home and family sector. For Taurus, it's been more of like a spiritual awakening. For Virgo, Aries is your 8th house, so Virgos have been having maybe some awakenings in their desires, like in the bang bang boogie department, or in like, you know, soul desires and stuff. Virgos may have been experiencing on and off of that. I do know a Virgo rising that since Uranus has been in Aries, like right when it shifted to Aries, they had an affair. Snappity snap. They had an affair suddenly after being happily married for years with kids. They got an apartment, a secret apartment. They were living this double bachelor life. You know, he got payback for that. He got karma for that. But I'm just saying it could be some sudden changing things in that area of life. So, and then for the air signs, Uranus and Aries is in your houses of like communication and stuff like that. Like if you're a air sign, Aquarius, it's like the 3rd house of communication. If you are a Gemini, Aries is your 11th house of friends. You guys may have like had some changes with your friends, suddenly losing friends or gaining friends, gaining, like, or friendships that are on and off, or gaining momentum on social media. If you are Libra, Uranus and Aries, that's your 7th house of relationship. Ooh, and I do know some Libras that have been on again, off again with relationships with one person. And then next thing you know, they're with another person. And then they move back and they're with this person again. And then now they're married. Now they're engaged. Now they're divorced. I'm like, yo, you guys are making my head spin. Yeah, so that's Uranus. So now that stuff's going to proceed. It'll be in Aries. It's at 24 degrees of Aries. It's going to go direct on the 3rd of January. And then it's going to go retrograde later this year, which I will talk about when I go, because I like to go in date order. And then it'll go back into Aries. And then it's going to go to Taurus again in 2019. But we'll get there in 2019. So yes, Uranus direct. Look forward to changes that can be extreme and unexpected, changes to where if you don't initiate them, the universe will initiate them for you. So Ark says, I have moved literally, I don't know why I can't talk tonight. Okay. I have moved literally 10 times in the past 10 years. Girl, and you're a Cappy. That's crazy. Yeah. Probably my husband, I think he's moved a lot of times too. We were driving through old neighborhoods last night. He's like, I used to live there, and then I lived there, and I lived there. I'm like, dude, for real. Cappies like to be stable too. So it's been messing with some Caps. But sometimes it's like you guys need a shakeup in your life, you know, like it's needed. Change is needed. It's inevitable. It's like unavoidable. So you might as well just get with it. Yeah. So what else is going on? Okay, so there is a full moon eclipse on January 31st, 2018 in the sign of Leo and Aquarius. It's on the Leo and Aquarius axis, and it's going to be in a conjunction with the nodes, the north and south nodes. So there is some karma involved here. So the eclipse in Leo, Leo and Aquarius, I would say, for, let's see, I'll just do like the elements. How about that? Because like I said, I'm not really like a world prediction person, but I would say that we have had eclipses on the Leo and Aquarius axis since February. It was February 10th, 2017, August 21st, 2017. And now here's another eclipse in Leo, the 31st of January 2018. And the eclipse cycles are going to continue to be on the axis of Leo and Aquarius, and they're going to ease on into the Capricorn Cancer axis too. So if you are a Leo or an Aquarius, if you were born near January 31st or within the first like 10, 11 days of Leo, this is an eclipse that's like really going to rock your world. But it could be in a good way. This eclipse, it is making a challenging aspect to Neptune that's called an inconjunct. Or what's the other word? Quincunx. I hate that word. I don't know what that word just really bugs the hell out of me. I can't like, I don't know why it sounds like scratching on a chalkboard, but that aspect, okay, it's like either it's things balance. It's either too much or too little, you know? Anyway, it's going to be making that type of aspect to Neptune, and Neptune can rule deception, being fooled, not seeing things clearly for what they really are, people for who they really are. So, and things being unclear. So definitely if you have, wherever this eclipse is going to hit in your chart, in your life, make sure that things are clear before you jump and make any decisions. Oh, hey, what's up, Gabby? You ordered a reading from me, girl. Thank you very much. I think I emailed you back. I'm still going through all my emails from all you guys who have ordered readings from me the last several days. But I am going through all of them, still getting to you guys. So thank you, Gabby. Gabby's birthday is February 1st. So yes, girl, this is an important eclipse for you as an Aquarius. It may be about relationships, but we'll take a look at your chart when I look at your chart. So yeah, the eclipse in Leo. So if you are a fire sign, this is going to be affecting like fiery areas of your life. Like if you're an Aries, this is going to be affecting like children, your creativity. If you have like any type of projects that you want to put out that really, sorry guys, that really show your creativity, anything like that, it's going to affect that. Also romance, like Aries people have had like some, you know, some interesting stuff, probably some interesting like on again, off again, like lovers and romance stuff happen over the last year or so. Yeah. So anyway, that's what it is for Aries. So Aries people, you guys are probably like mad fertile. Like I already know 2 Aries. They're also astrologers. Like my homegirl, Diana, she renamed her channel One Love Astrology, but it was Astrology by Diana. She got pregnant last year. She's a Leo moon, and so the eclipses have been in her moon sign, and also she's an Aries rising, so they were hitting up her 5th house. And also Astro Lotta is an Aries and a Leo moon. So she had a baby, then she got pregnant again. She's having another baby. So like Aries people, you guys are like mad fertile. So this eclipse is going to continue that. If you're a Leo, this is in your sign. It's just really all about big changes for you. Leos can have a tendency to be like, it's all about me, and wear their little invisible crown and stuff. So you guys are just going to be even more like that. Okay. So this eclipse is definitely just going to rock your world overall for Leos, because it's a full moon. There could be a relationship thing aspect to it, where there could be like you versus others or something like that, you know. It could be something regarding that, but it's definitely like still a big year for Leo people with eclipses and the north node in your sign. So you guys don't get a big head though, Leo, because The North Node could be an accelerator, and Leos already are like, yes, I am so grand and fabulous. But it could just mean you guys are receiving a lot of blessings and just really big changes for Leo. So that eclipse is in your sign, Leo. And then if you are a Sag, that eclipse is in your ninth house. Wait, Leo for Sag. Yeah, it's in your ninth house. So Saggies, that's your territory. So travel, life experiences, maybe education, could be some stuff, some completions there over the course of the next 6 months after that eclipse. Yeah, so, but that's good for Sag because you guys had Saturn in your sign, man. Like Saturn was like kind of a downer, a bummer for some Sagittarians. So now you guys can be back to being your element. The eclipse in Leo will definitely help to usher that in. For the earth elements, the eclipse in Aquarius, I'm sorry, dang it, the eclipse in Leo for earth signs, that is more like in like emotional houses for you guys for earth signs. Like for Taurus, it's your fourth house, so you guys may still have your family and home life rocked. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm a Taurus. That eclipse will be in my fourth house based on my sun sign. And I have to move, and my move out date is January 31st, the day of the eclipse. So the universe doesn't lie, you guys. Does not lie. For Virgo, this is your, let's see, Leo for Virgo, that's your 12th house. So Virgo's finding their peace of mind and their mental and emotional well-being is going to be rocked again, and some major changes there. For Capricorn, Leo is your 8th house. So joining forces with another person, whether that's financially or like on a soul level, there can be some changes there, huge changes for you guys. And for eclipses, I tend to do broadcasts that are just like all the horoscopes, like in detail for every sign. So when it's that time, even though I might be moving, I might be doing it in a space that's like completely blank and empty. If I do film a video, I will be here to talk about that eclipse. If time and moving and all that crazy stuff permits. So I'm just doing short things right now. But for air signs, the eclipse in Leo, that's in your air houses. So like for Gemini, it's in your 3rd house of communication and Gemini stuff. So talking to people, socializing with people, communicating, there can be an eclipse there that affects that. Could be your siblings, something in their life changes. For Libra, Leo is your 11th house of friends. So changing your friendships, that area of your world could be rocked too, to where you like maybe cut off some friends, you or also social media. I need to take a drink, you guys. Like I can't even. Social media, all right, social media. So yeah, what was I gonna say? Yeah, so for social media, putting something out on social media, if you're a Libra, that eclipse can definitely help you out there. If you are an Aquarius, the eclipse in Leo, that's your relationship house. Hold on, let me take a sip on that. So Aquarius, that eclipse in Leo is going to be rocking your relationship house. I know some Aquariuses that definitely need to cut off some people, okay? Like they've been dealing with some bum losers for the last long time, and now these eclipses have been slowly like breaking that foundation down to where they can finally just say, you know what, we are no more. This you and I thing is like, no, it's no more. Like I need to be on my own, do my own thing, and you need to just piece yourself out. Or it could be some of you guys getting married. I've seen that too for Aquariuses. So your relationships will definitely change. And then, did I cover all the elements? Earth, fire, air, water signs. The eclipse in Leo is also, it's affecting your earth houses, like your work, your career, and how you make your money. So that's definitely going to change. Like, so for water signs, so for Cancer, the eclipse in Leo is in your 2nd house. So something could change with your money. How you make your money could be a new job. It could be leaving a job, starting a new venture, something like that to make money. For Scorpio, this is in your 10th house of career. So For Scorpios, you know, you're going to continue to have those eclipses up there. Scorpios are rocking it. Okay, just ask Patrick Starr. If you guys don't know who Patrick Starr is by now, he is a YouTube makeup artist, but he has been climbing to the top for a long time. And he's a Scorpio, and it's been evident in the transits. And I actually do know his ascendant and have his birth time. So yeah, but so I know his little secrets of success. But yeah, because he's a Scorpio, he has definitely been rocking those Leo eclipses up there in that 10th house of career. Okay, just as an example, being recognized socially is definitely something that Scorpios have been working on, are still working on, and so on. And then if you're a Capricorn, or I'm sorry, Lord have mercy, if you're a Pisces, Leo is your 6th house of work. So Pisces, you guys may be changing where you work. You guys may be changing jobs again, or just changing it where you work right now, like changing it for the better. But something in regards to work. And also take care of your health, Pisces. Please do take care of your health big time. Like, yeah, like my dad was a Pisces and he had a major health issue that kind of went undetected, unfortunately, for a long time, you know, and there was those eclipses in Leo, like in his 6th house. So, you know, definitely take care of yourself, Pisces. I'm not saying that to scare you to death or nothing, but just as a real life example, like take care of yourself. Okay. So that's the full moon eclipse, happens on January 31st. I'll be here to talk about it in detail when it occurs later this month. So then there's another eclipse happening this year, a couple weeks later after that one, in February 15th, 2018, there's a new moon eclipse in Aquarius. Now, this is a good one because this eclipse is receiving a positive aspect from Uranus, and Uranus is the ruling planet of Aquarius, right? So it's receiving an aspect, some energy that's energizing it from its own ruling planet. So it's like super uber Aquarian energy. It's like, it's really, I love Aquarian energy. So it's really dope. Aquarius is about innovation. It's about doing things differently. It's about like, well, all y'all are going that way. Let me just take a step back and observe what you guys are doing, and then make a decision of whether or not I want to do that too. Or maybe I'm observing what you're doing, but then I'm going to go do it differently, differently than how everybody else is doing it. It's like your Aquarius friends are the ones that will be like, so I know all about this band, and you've never heard of them before, and they're not on the radio, and they're not on mainstream videos and MTV. Does MTV even still play music? I don't know, but they're not mainstream, and like I knew about them first. That's your Aquarius friends, right? So it's gonna be like an eclipse to bring about, I guess, a little bit more of that, but like, you know, just more creative energy that's like originality. People watch around that eclipse. People are really going to be preaching about some originality. Just watch. So that's what that Aquarius eclipse is about. Yes. Oh, hipster. I know. I was like trying not to say that word, but yeah, Aquarius rules hipsters. Okay. If you know anybody that's a hipster, they have Aquarius somewhere in their chart. Okay. Somehow, some way, or 11th house or Uranus or something all up in that chart. Okay. I guarantee I encountered some people like that. And then I found out their birthday and I look and I'm like, so that's why they're a hipster. They got that Aquarian energy all in the mix. I'm telling you. So yeah, it's about discovering new things though. Like it really is. So anyhow, so yeah, that's a full moon, a new moon eclipse at 27 degrees Aquarius. So if you were born around the 15th of November, this is definitely going to be like a really big eclipse for you. And let's see, is that the last eclipse in Aquarius we're going to have for a minute? I think so, but no, it's not actually. I still need to go in date order, but anyhow, yes. So, let's see, for fire signs, that Aquarius eclipse is going to be hitting your houses that are based on, let's see, for fire signs, Aquarius, that's like your social houses. Like if you're an Aries, Aquarius is your 11th house. So friendships, who you associate with, whether or not you're a hipster Aries, okay, like it deals with that. Social media, all that stuff. If you're a Leo, Aquarius is your 7th house of relationships. So that'll be rocked once again, okay, like it was last August of 2017. If you are a, what am I on? Oh my God. I didn't write any of these signs down to be in order. Okay. Fire signs. So if you are a Sagittarius, the eclipse in Aquarius is hitting your, let's see, 11th, 7th, and 3rd, your 3rd house of communication and learning some stuff. So Saggies may be continuing to learn some new skills. You know, something along those lines could be going on with that eclipse in Aquarius for you guys. So let's see, if you are a earth sign, that eclipse is hitting like your emotional houses. So for Taurus, that's your 4th house. Wait, no, it's not. Oh my God. See, I don't know if I should do the horoscopes like that because I didn't write it down. And if I don't write it down, I'm like not one of those people that can just do stuff on the spot like that. Like a Gemini can. No, I'm a Taurus. I got to plan things out. But let's see. If you are earth signs, Aquarius is hitting your earth houses. That means your career, your job, your money. So if you're a Taurus, Aquarius is your 10th house of career. So Tauruses may see some changes within career. If you're a Virgo, Aquarius is your 6th house of work. So Virgos may be making some changes with their jobs, for an example. And it's also health, and Virgos are usually pretty big on health. So more opportunities to change what you do with your health for for Virgos. And then if you are a Cappy, Aquarius is your 2nd house of how you earn your money. So Capricorns, get that money. That eclipse may rock your world to where maybe you can get a promotion, you can get paid more, you can get a higher paying job, something, okay? And then if you are a water sign, Aquarius is hitting, let's see, that's where it's hitting the emotional houses. Like if you're a Pisces, Aquarius is your 12th house. So that's like your spiritual and emotional well-being, where that eclipse will affect that. And dealing with addictions and stuff too can be the 12th house, but we'll talk about that in February in detail. If you are a Cancer, Aquarius is your 8th house. So that's like really rocking your world with how you collaborate with others in the name of money or a soul bond with somebody. And then if you're a Scorpio, Aquarius is your 4th house of home and family. So you guys are going to have that area of your chart rocked again. Hopefully like something new when it comes to moving and family, new beginnings with family. I'm a Scorpio, and my family does need some new beginnings after all the crazy we've been through in the last year. And now we have to suddenly move. So woof, let's have some good new beginnings, right? And then if you are an air sign, this is affecting your like fire houses, like initiation. So if you're an Aquarius, this is in your sign. I mean, self-explanatory, boo-boo. It's all about you changing yourself, changing something to do with your appearance, how you come off to people, stuff like that. If you are a Gemini, Aquarius is your 9th house. So this is learning. So some Geminis may decide, you know what, I want to go back to school, or I'd like to teach, or I'd like to travel more, for example. If you are a Libra, Aquarius is your 5th house. So that's romance. Libras are always about relationships and romance. Okay. So, so they're probably all hyped to hear, oh my God, romance. Yeah. So yeah, Libra, you may have some serious changes there. Or some of you guys may be fertile and become parents this year for Libras. If you are a fire sign, this is hitting your social houses, that eclipse in Aquarius. So for example, if you are an Aries, this is your, I think I already went through you guys, right? It's your, yeah, okay. And then if you are a Leo, this is relationships that are going to change. And then if you are a Sag, it is learning. Yeah, I did go through the fire signs. Okay, so anyway, that's the eclipse. Eclipse in Aquarius, February 15th. Okay, so that's what we're looking forward to. So in March, we have a couple things going on that are a little more minor. Well, we have retrogrades. Jupiter is going to go retrograde in March. It's going to be retrograde for 4 months. So that's when you may not see Jupiter's like rewards and gifts and all that stuff and blessings. they may start to kind of slow down. And it's like going back over things wherever Jupiter is in your chart, wherever Scorpio is in your chart. It's a review of things. So from March 10th to July 11th, Jupiter goes retrograde, okay? And then on the 23rd of March, we have Mercury retrograde and in the sign of Aries. So it's going to be retrograde in Aries the whole time. It doesn't go back to any other sign. It's going to be retrograde for close to a month, from the 23rd of March until the 16th of April. And yeah, Mercury retrograde in Aries. Oh my God. So wherever Aries is in your chart, that's where the madness is going to be, as far as like where you have to pay more attention to detail. You have to make sure that you go over things a few times before you actually initiate communication or whatever. Mercury retrograde in Aries, you know, this is people, they can't, Aries is impulsive, so people can be saying things like just spitting it out like blah without even thinking first, and then be like, oh snap, maybe I shouldn't have said that, I take that back. Like, it's a little aggressive. So that Mercury retrograde will be a little aggressive. Okay. So be mindful of possibly having like angry people just kind of saying stuff and then overreacting and then taking it back. So that's Mercury retrograde in Aries. And the majority of these things, guys, these transits, I will go through every sign, like when it's the time for that transit to happen. I'll do a live stream solely on that. But this is just an overview of what we're looking at this year. And then, on the 17th of April, Chiron moves into Aries. Oh my God. Chiron moves into Aries. Chiron moves into Aries for a short period of time. Then it's going to retrograde back into Pisces also in 2018. And then it's going to move back into Aries again in 2019, I think. Yeah, but Chiron will shift into Aries. So we will feel the shift of it going into that sign though. And Chiron, if you don't know what that is, the little symbol for it looks like a key, right? When you look at like a natal chart and the symbols for all the planets, it looks like a key. And it's an asteroid. Some say it's a planetoid, like a mini planet. But it's representation of where you feel the most wounded or like easily hurt, a soft spot that can repeatedly get hit and hurt. And then you remember the pain. Daniel says he is waiting for Chiron in Aries. Please let us know why you're looking forward to that, honey. Okay, because Chiron in any sign, I'm like, oh my God, like why would anybody look forward to that? I mean, Chiron is a wounded healer. Like, so there is opportunities for healing. You know, I may be sarcastic and be like, oh, hell to the no, but no, it's an opportunity for healing, an area of life, an area of your life to maybe where maybe you wounded other people, and you need to heal yourself in that area, and in order to like not do that again, or to heal others and apologize, or be able to heal yourself in ways to where maybe you'd never received an apology from someone about a way that they hurt you, but it's you coming to terms with that and moving on. You know what I'm saying? So Chiron in any area has that opportunity. Chiron in Aries, that means if you were born like in the mid to late 60s, this is your Chiron return. So Chiron return, man, I'll do a video on that one day. Around that age, you experience that, and it's kind of looking at pain from a different perspective. But anyway, Chiron and Aries for all of us. Aries, it rules like the self and the appearance, the body, the head, you know, so it's an opportunity for the world to heal in that type of way. Like, you know, it's crazy. It just gave me the thought of like how there's all this like plastic surgery. Like we have Pisces energy right now, right? We've got Neptune in Pisces going to be there till like 2025 or something like that. We've got Chiron in Pisces. And a lot of people, if you've noticed, have been getting this crazy plastic surgery, right? Crazy plastic surgery. Like girls have died from getting these booty shots, like to try to have like a badonkadonk when they naturally don't. And, you know, there's been like botched surgeries and like women walking around looking like ducks and like chipmunks and stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think Pisces is like illusion, right? It's like painting this picture and everything. And Aries, since it's like associated with the first house, it's the first sign. It's me. I'm born and here. I'm here, you know. And it's your identity too. Chiron and Aries, I think it's going to bring about more people being more true to themselves. Unfortunately, I think the plastic surgery trends are still going to continue because there's other influences like Neptune and Pisces still going on. And then we're going to have Pluto and Aquarius also in the 2020s. And that's like cyborg. Like they're already starting to build those crazy robots, right? Like those crazy robots that are like, hello, I am here to take over your life. Like, it's like, oh my God, this is a little too much. So I think still we're gonna have some stuff where they're building these robot people and people are building themselves like in this to altering their bodies. But I think Chiron and Aries is gonna still bring an understanding to people of like how to appreciate who you are, like your true self, you know, and things like getting in touch with your roots. Like, you know how they have those DNA tests now, that 20, I forgot what it's called, but they have those DNA tests. I think there may be like a surgence of that when Chiron's in Aries, because people are going to be even more curious about like how to heal from like ancestral stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like get back in touch with like their roots, like that way. So I think Chiron and Aries will bring that. I'm not going to go through the signs because, like I said, I'll make this video way too long. But once it shifts into Aries, we will talk. So that happens on the 17th of April. On the 18th of April, Saturn goes retrograde in Capricorn. It's going to retrograde until September the 7th of 2018. Now, when Saturn is retrograde, that is Papa Saturn going back to look and see if you cleaned your room the right way, okay? He's going to make sure that you didn't just shove things under the bed, shove things into the closet, be like, yeah, Dad, I cleaned my room. He's going to come in there and look around thoroughly, okay? And I use that analogy to your life. Like wherever Saturn is right now, wherever Capricorn is in your chart, you're supposed to be marching left, right, left, get on up, or march. You know, you're supposed to be doing the right thing, right? And then once Saturn goes retrograde, it's like he's coming back to check on you. Like, did you do the right thing in this area of life? And if you're like, yeah, I was, but you shortcut, oh no. Saturn's going to go pull out all them toys and dirty clothes from under your bed, throw them out, be like, what's this? What's this? Look in your closet. All the stuff's going to fall out that you shoved in there. He's going to be like, are you kidding me, child? For real? This is what you call a clean room? No. You're going to have to start from scratch all over again. And not only that, he threw everything around to mess it up even more and be like, there, now clean this room how I taught you to clean it. Okay. So use that analogy towards life. Anywhere, wherever Saturn is in your chart, like I said, make sure you are doing the straight and narrow path, not half-stepping. What? Yeah, that makes you think. Ain't no half-stepping. That's a Saturn song. Ain't no half-stepping. Who's that? Big Daddy Kane? That makes me wonder, is Big Daddy Kane a Capricorn? Somebody let me know if you know. I'll go look it up later. But no half-stepping when Saturn especially is in Capricorn, but just in general. So he's going to go back and check over what you've been doing and see if you've been doing it properly. And yeah, so you may get some stuff flung at you if you haven't been. So make sure you act right, you guys, okay? So again, that's from the 18th of April until the 7th of November that Saturn will be retrograde in the sign of Capricorn. It's not going back to Sag, it's going to stay in Capricorn. And then on the 23rd of April, we have Pluto going retrograde in Capricorn until the 1st of October of 2018. So we have Saturn and Pluto retrograde in Cappy. Listen, like I said, I'm not that great with global astrology predictions and politics and all that stuff. But I will tell you this, Capricorn, it rules the head ninjas in charge, okay? Whoever is on top, that can mean corporations, heads of corporations, CEOs, any dude in a business suit or lady in a business suit, but it's mostly dudes. Let's face the truth here. Any of those people, executives, presidents, CEOs, all of them, Saturn and Pluto going retrograde in Cap, it will pull out all of the dirt, the crap they've been hiding and trying to stash away. And especially with Jupiter still being in Scorpio, more stuff will come to surface and to light. If any of these people are corrupt, doing corrupt things, yeah, they can possibly be brought down or brought to justice or something, hopefully, or at least it's going to be publicized, you know, a little bit more. So that's starting in April, April through September and October. Saturn retrograde, Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. So that starts on the 23rd of April. And then on, oh, okay, I see my notes here. So on the 15th of May, huge thing going on here. So Uranus goes into Taurus. So the planet of kooky, of weird, of like changing things suddenly out of the blue, doing things in a very innovative way, like that they've never been before. That planet goes into Taurus. So I may be doing a video on it, but I also may be doing a webinar on it. So I'm not going to say too much right now, but all I will tell you is read up on what Taurus rules. Taurus, it rules anything in our material world, our resources. So Taurus rules money, food. Those are like the most important things for us to survive as humans, right? Money and food. Money, food, even the resources like water, gas, oil, all that stuff. Taurus rules that. And so Uranus is going to shift into that sign and going to change the game when it comes to any of those things. So if you are an entrepreneur, I recommend that you definitely, like if you sell goods, definitely try to figure out how you can conduct your business in a more innovative, creative, and technologically advanced way. Okay, when Uranus moves into Taurus, because that's, and also like even yes, money, food, and Instagram are life. Thank you very much, thinking man. Yeah, even our social media and all that stuff, there may be some huge changes there. But I mean, Uranus changes a lot of things, but depending upon the sign it's in. The last time Uranus was in Taurus, we had a few things go on. I know that one of the times Uranus was in Taurus, there was like a great famine. I think it was called the Great Potato Famine or something. You know, I'll do more research when I do a focused class or video on this, but just speaking off the top of my head, I think we had like stock market crashes and stuff like that. This was like 84 years ago. So go back 84 years and look at the last time Uranus was in Taurus. Look at what was going on. If we don't want to see a repeat of that in a negative way, we need to study the past, you know, to look to the future and the present. Excuse me. But yes, things will be changed. More like, I think we're going to try to get more creative with, well, society will probably try to get creative with like the GMOs. You know how we always have this thing about GMOs, genetically modified food and stuff like that. And there's been some changes, but I think those industries are going to try to fight back because Uranus, once again, it is innovation. It's creating things in a lab. It's creating things with technology. So with food, they're going to keep trying to mess with our food, you guys, when Uranus goes into Taurus. And Uranus also rules rebellion. So people are going to start rebelling back against that, like even stronger, okay, even harder, and saying, you know what, we want to be able to have the freedom, which is Uranus, to grow our own food as we please, which is Taurus. Also currency, expect currency to change over the course of Uranus and Taurus. But that's all I'm going to say about that. But Uranus enters Taurus on the 15th of May, 2018. So it's going to be like mad, crazy, interesting times. And Uranus stays in a sign for 7 years. Okay. So it goes into Taurus. It goes retrograde. It goes retrograde. And then in 2019, it goes back into Taurus. So it'll still be back and forth, Taurus and Aries, but we're already seeing Cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency. That's electronically based currency. Okay. Uranus is electronics. Taurus is currency. Insert that meme of the dude going. Yes. Yes. It's going to be interesting times for us. If you are a Taurus, you're going to be wild and out. Okay. I'm a Taurus. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be more weird. I'm going to start dressing like a space alien. It's going to be lit, you guys. I'm looking forward to it. So next up, we're going to talk about Neptune going retrograde in Pisces. So Neptune, since Neptune's transit is like so long, I think it stays in a sign for like 14 years or something like that. Long time. It's not really something that we see huge changes with, but I'm going to just just talk about it anyway. Just very briefly, Neptune retrograde. That's when the fog machine is turned off. When Neptune moves forward, think of Neptune as a fog machine. It's shooting out this purple, sparkly fog that like you can't really see clearly what's going on. And that's why the unicorn trend, the mermaid trend, all that stuff has come about because of Neptune and Pisces. And also, it's been like a really great spiritual awakening for a lot of people. If you've noticed, since 2012, Neptune moved into Pisces, that's when you've seen much more of astrology being more like what, like mainstream, not mainstream, but like, you know, like, okay, my peoples, okay, like astrologers, like on YouTube and on the internet, have come out more. Like we've all experienced like, oh wow, like this, like, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but we've experienced, I guess, an awakening, like a spiritual awakening, realizations about the unseen and what's unseen, but it's still real, you know? So anyway, it's all about that, Neptune and Pisces. But Neptune is going to go retrograde, and it's kind of like anything that you may have been like had hidden in the fog, right? You haven't really been able to see clearly. Wherever Pisces is in your chart for you, when Neptune's retrograde, it's like, oh, the fog has cleared. Oh, now I'm looking at things from a different perspective, and I'm seeing it way more clearly. And it's like, really now? One time when there was a Neptune retrograde, and I'm ruled by, my moon is ruled by Neptune because Neptune rules Pisces. I was dating this guy in this very Neptunian relationship. I mentioned it many times on this channel because it was just the wackiest, like crazy thing ever in my whole entire life. But anyway, he told so many lies, and also he was on drugs, and Neptune rules drugs, right? So there was a lot that like I just didn't see clearly, like that he was doing, and people were telling me like, you need to like, oh, you shouldn't believe him, he's lying. And I'm like, no, I think he might be telling me the truth, you know, about him cheating and going to stripper clubs and stealing, like anything Neptune that's negative. He was doing all of that. But I was like, I don't think so. But when Neptune went retrograde, I looked back at that relationship, and I swear to you, it was like a movie. I saw that relationship and that time in my life like a movie playing back to me, and I was somebody else. And I was like, holy, like, I really did that. I acted in that way. I allowed that. Like, yo, that's crazy. So that's Neptune retrograde. Some things that were foggy and unclear, you'll be seeing it with like a whole new set of spectacles on, I'm telling you. So yes, that's Neptune retrograde in Pisces, seeing things more clearly. And that happens from June 19th through November 25th of 2018. So on the 27th of June, this is Mars retrograde in Aquarius. Okay, so Mars goes into a sign only once every 2 years or so. So the last time Mars was in Aquarius, I think it was at like the end, I want to say it was like the end of 2016. Mars was in Aquarius, but it wasn't retrograde. Mars in Aquarius, you can see the influence of Mars as a collective if you really pay attention to people around you, to social media and news and all that stuff. So Mars in Aquarius, just think of Tupac. Tupac had Mars in Aquarius. And he had a crazy ass Aries moon, I know. So he was just like, first off, you know, like that's how Tupac was. But see, Mars is your fighting spirit. It's the fighting spirit that you have. Aquarius is all about activism and standing up for people and human rights and not making sure that like nobody is being treated unfairly in any type of way, and standing up for like all people and the underdog and people who are different and stuff like that. So Mars in Aquarius is all about that. And so Mars is going to go retrograde in Aquarius. Mars retrograde is like, it's a pretty crazy time. It's where if you are just firing off things, which Mars can be reckless and angry. If you're just firing off things in a reckless way, Mars retrograde, I find it's like a boomerang. It'll fling stuff right back at you, okay? Like to hit you with it. It can be like that. But what's interesting? Mars is going to go retrograde. So it's going to be retrograde from June 27th until August 28th of 2018. So if you are an Aquarius, you guys have an eclipse in your sign. You have Mars retrograde in your sign. So it's going to be quite the year. Then you have like the eclipse in your opposite sign. So yeah, Aquarius is having some huge changes this year. But yeah, Mars will be retrograde then, like throughout most of the summertime. Well, summertime in this part of the world. Now on the 11th of July, that's when Jupiter goes direct in the sign of Scorpio. So it goes from 23 degrees Scorpio to 13 degrees Scorpio. So then it's going to proceed forward, and it's going to go from 13 degrees Scorpio all the way to Sag. It's going to keep it moving in Scorpio. That's when you may be able to see the rewards of Jupiter, like reap the rewards of Jupiter, and see them come more to light. So, and then on the 12th of July, there's a new moon eclipse in the sign of Cancer, and it's going to be opposing Pluto and making a trine to Neptune. So it's going to be in an opposition to Pluto and Capricorn. OMG. Okay. I think July is going to be one of those months where there's like some serious stuff going on politically, and especially in the US, because the US, we celebrate July 4th. That's Independence Day. That's like the day supposedly like the US was like established, right, by the Declaration of Independence. I would definitely be careful going out on the 4th of July in 2018 if I were you guys. Just for the fact that we have that eclipse in Cancer so kind of near July 4th. We also have the retrograde of Mars in Aquarius, and Aquarius can rule the masses, and Mars can be aggression and anger. And then we have the retrogrades of Saturn and Pluto in the sign of Capricorn. Capricorn is like the president, okay, or like top people in top positions and politicians and stuff. Capricorn retrogrades there. An eclipse, like last year we had eclipses. We had an eclipse that actually passed over the US. And what happened in this region of the world, you guys? What happened? What's been going on with California? What has been going on with Mexico, like right below California? What has been going on like in the US? You know what I'm saying? Like in this region of the world. The eclipses last year initiated that. And then there's an eclipse in the sign of like the US's birth date. And Capricorn stuff going on, and Aquarius. I just really think there could be some revolutionary stuff, maybe some very rebellious stuff going on next summer. So that's kind of the only type of world prediction that I have, like the closest thing to it. But it's definitely sometimes to watch out for. All right. So yeah, but there's going to be that eclipse in Cancer. So the full moon tonight is not the only Cancerian themed thing going on. The eclipse is also another thing. And Cancer also in a way, it rules patriotism, being a patriot, being like, this is my home and my homeland and my people and my country. Like that's all Cancer stuff, right? So because of that eclipse there, I think there may be something that sparks more people to be patriotic and try to come together and like rep their country and all that stuff. Hopefully it's nothing crazy, like no terrorist crap. Knock on wood. We don't need any more of that here. But I would just say be on the lookout though. And then let's see, on the 27th, we have a full moon eclipse. I think, is that an eclipse? 4 degrees of Aquarius and Leo. So there's going to be another eclipse in July, and it's a full moon, and it's conjunct the nodes, and it's conjunct Mars retrograde in Aquarius. So I think July is probably, like I said, it's going to be one of those months where in the US you may see a lot of maybe some crazy things or some really significant changes of some sort, or maybe somebody even making an attempt to take down our president, you know, or like in some sort of way. There could be that because of the eclipses in Leo. The president is a Leo rising and Leo Mars, and then there's going to be a Mars opposition happening for him, which is other people versus him, and it's retrograde. Interesting. But yeah, and then there's that eclipse that has the Mars energy attached to it because it's right next to Mars. And then there's going to be like the north and south nodes, which initiate an acceleration of activity and change and stuff too. So very interesting, very interesting. Uranus goes retrograde on the 8th of August 2018 in the sign of Taurus. So this is like, it's going to go back. It only makes it to 2 degrees of Taurus, only 2 degrees of Taurus. So if you were born like the 20th, 21st, 22nd of April, you're going to get like a little taste of like the Uranus energy, making you feel like a little more zany and kooky, like you want to change things up in your life, you know? So you may get a taste of that. And then it's going to go backwards. It's going to go back, move back. So if I were you guys, I would still be very like cautious when it comes to participating in any like that cryptocurrency stuff, because of the fact that Uranus is going to go retrograde in Taurus. And retro means going back over things, like I said, you know? So yeah, just be really careful with investing in that stuff. I think there's going to be some bugs that need to be worked out, honestly, with the cryptocurrency until Uranus is fully in the sign of Taurus. Yeah, so it's going to go retrograde August 8th, and then it goes back into Aries on November the 6th. It goes back into Aries, and then it doesn't go back into Taurus again until 2019. So yeah, be careful with anything to do with money, investments, and all that stuff, especially with that Uranus retrograde in Taurus. Excuse me. So on the 11th of August, we have a new moon eclipse in the sign of Leo, and it's going to be squaring Jupiter. It's going to be squaring Jupiter in Scorpio. That eclipse is going to be, yeah, it's going to be a little intense and maybe like a frustrating eclipse in the sign of Leo, 18 degrees of Leo. So wherever you're getting hit by that eclipse, January 31st of this year, it's going to, that area of life is going to be rocked again in August, okay? August the 11th of 2018. But it's a concentrated energy because it's the sun and moon in Leo. That's a new moon, so it's going to be like right there in the sign of Leo. And squaring Jupiter, that's a challenging aspect to Jupiter. So Leo energy is about like having a lot of confidence and just doing, right? Because you're so confident in what you want to do. And then a square to Jupiter. Jupiter is about jumping and flying, but it's like a challenging aspect to where you can have consequences if you just kind of jump after things because you feel so overly confident. So that's the best I could say as far as that eclipse for us as a collective. I will go through all the signs when we come to that point of the eclipses in August, okay? So on the 20th of August, this is Mercury going direct in the sign of Leo. Is it Leo? Oh, I forgot to mention Mercury retrograde in Leo. Oh my God. I'm messing up my date order, and my 6th house energy is going to go bonkers from getting out of date order. Okay. So we do have Mercury retrograde again. That's in July 27th. It goes retrograde at 23 degrees of Leo. And you know what's interesting is like that Mercury retrograde is going to be hitting eclipse points, like the same degrees that we've had eclipses in the sign of Leo, it's going to be hitting those. So Mercury retrograde in Leo, and then it goes from 23 back down to 11 degrees of Leo. So if you were born within those degrees, anywhere in Leo, Mercury's going to be retrograde in your sign. Oh my gosh, when Mercury's retrograde in your sign, that's when you really experience like the naughtiness of Mercury retrograde. I'm talking about like your phone's acting up, your car's acting up, like your devices. Oh my God, all that stuff. But yeah, I'll do a video on it when that time comes. But yeah, Mercury is retrograde in Leo from the 27th of July until the 20th of August, 2018. So, and then on the 28th, Mars goes direct, but it's in Capricorn. See, it goes back from Aquarius to Capricorn. And also, we still have Saturn and Pluto retrograde in Capricorn, and then Mars retrogrades back to Capricorn. I'm telling you guys, there's going to be some stuff popping off based on like people who are in big wig corporate or presidential or CEO positions next year. There can be even more takedowns of these people. So watch out for that. Very interesting. Okay, so yeah, then on the 7th of September, that's when Saturn goes direct at 2 degrees of Capricorn. And then Saturn will be trying Uranus the whole month of September. Uranus is retrograde in Taurus, but like, see, Saturn is in, it's in an earth sign, right? It's in Capricorn in the early degrees, and then Uranus is in Taurus in the early degrees. They're going to be making a trine, a positive aspect to each other. So they're going to be working together, but still Uranus is retrograde. So I think there's going to be something to do with presidential, corporate, executive people and money, currency, resources that is going to be changing around that time. So that happens in September of 2018. And then on the 1st of October 2018, that's when Pluto goes direct in Capricorn. So it's moving forward with some of that Capricorn stuff to do with power, money, and all of that stuff. People in positions of power and authority. And Capricorn can also rule the military too. So we may see some sort of changes over the next couple of years with the military, or military like strategies, or hopefully no war. Lord have mercy. Knock on, where's my wood? Where's the wood in this house? Knock on something, y'all. Like, no wars. But with all this Capricorn stuff popping off, we got Chiron moving into Aries, Uranus going back and forth from Taurus to Aries. We could possibly see something like that. I am crossing my fingers, but we could, because those energies, Capricorn and Aries, both will rule war and military, because Aries is like soldier. Like Aries is like the energy that takes orders and direction from Capricorn, and it's like, yes, drill sergeant. And then Capricorn's a drill sergeant, like Lieutenant Dan, right? Capricorn's Lieutenant Dan telling Aries, like, you need to get your butt out there. You need to fight. You need to put this gun together. And then Aries like, yes, drill sergeant, and just marches full speed ahead with the gun, shooting anybody, you know? So with energy in those two signs, we could see some sort of something popping off. I'm just saying. I'll leave it right there. So then on the 6th of October, this is interesting. The 6th of October, 2018, we have Venus retrograde in Scorpio. Oh, I am not looking forward to this. I am not looking forward to Venus retro in Scorpio. No, especially because it's at 10 degrees Scorpio. My rising sign is 10 degrees Scorpio. My sun sign is 10 degrees Taurus, the opposite. I'm not looking forward, you guys. I'm not looking forward at all to that Venus retrograde. But Venus retrograde in Scorpio, oh my gosh. I'm hoping that nobody's going to do some crazy like revenge stuff. Like, please just don't. Scorpio can be vengeful. And then Venus, it brings people back from your past. I'm talking about sometimes even like more intense than a Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde is them hitting you up. Hey, stranger. Hey, big head. Hey, how are you? How you been? I was thinking about you. Oh, yeah. You know, like that type of stuff. It's the thinking and the talking. Venus retrograde is actually the feelings of love and all this stuff. And so some people can come back from the past. I blocked most of my exes, so no. But yeah, that is a time to block exes, especially people who have been stalkery. Oh my gosh, block them when Venus is retrograde in Scorpio. Please do. Venus is retrograde in Scorpio. And it's going to actually retrograde back into Libra, and Libra rules relationships in general. Scorpio is like that soul bond that you have with somebody, like to where it's like beyond, you know, the physical, beyond just chatting with somebody like casually. Scorpio is like, I want to possess your soul. You know, that's Scorpio. So there could be like revenge of exes, like exes, new boos, like stalking you, looking at your page, like, why was he dating her? Like, what has she got on me? You know, that type of stuff. So I would say to keep your social medias like tight, you know what I'm saying? Up on point, like block all the weirdos and stuff. The privacy settings, get them like on point when Venus is retrograde in Scorpio. But it could be, some people could have some really good things come back from the past, like a passionate love affair that you had with somebody, and maybe it was like a love lost or whatever, but they come back to you. I have a feeling the relationship readings are going to be so like busy during a Venus retro in Scorpio. Oh my gosh. That's the only thing I would look forward to, is giving readings to people, but I'm going to be hiding, y'all. I'm going to be hiding like a hermit. No, I don't need any crazies like all up in my business. But yeah, Venus retrograde in Scorpio is going to go back to Libra. It's going to go back to Libra. It's going to be retrograde from the 6th of October until the 17th of November. It's going to go back to 25 degrees of Libra. So if you were born around any of those degrees of Scorpio or Libra, 10 degrees Scorpio to 25 degrees Libra, Venus is going to be retrograde in your sign. So do not do anything new, different, or crazy with your appearance, because Venus rules the beauty, okay? Don't do anything different. Don't buy a different perfume. Don't try anything new. No new perfume, makeup, hairdo, hair dye, none of that stuff, because you'll end up bald-headed and smelling like a skunk, okay? Like just not even looking or smelling or feeling that great about yourself when the retrograde is over. The worst thing I've done during a Venus retrograde, when it was retrograde, I think in like Taurus or something, I don't remember what it was retrograde in Aries. It was retrograde in Aries and Pisces, right? And I'm a Pisces moon, so it was like affecting me personally. I bought this perfume. I thought it smelled so freaking good during Venus retrograde. After the retrograde, I was like, why did I buy this? It was just like, no. I was like, it smells weird, like a man's cologne. I don't rock with men's cologne like that. I like to smell it on a man, right? So yeah, like just watch what you buy, what you purchase in general when Venus is retrograde, especially if it's like beauty, vanity, if it's appearance, if you're a Scorpio or Libra. Don't get any plastic surgery. Nope. Don't get those booty shots. Don't get them anyway. Don't get anything done with the boobage, okay? Don't get anything done with your face. Nothing like that when Venus is retrograde, because when the retrograde is over in November, you may not be satisfied with the results, okay? Trust me on that. One time, a friend of mine was getting her chi-chis done, and she was going to schedule the surgery for a Venus retrograde, and I stopped her. I was like, no, don't do it. She's not really a big believer in astrology, but I was like, girl, listen to me. You will not like your chi-chis if you get them done during that time frame. Just no. So she actually scheduled the surgery earlier. And as far as I know, I'll have to ask her because it's been a couple years. As far as I know, she was satisfied with them. I'll have to check on the chi-chis, see how they're doing now, but not in that way. No. I mean, asking her, how do you feel about the boobs now? You know, are you still happy with them? Because she avoided that Venus retrograde. I saved her chi-chis. So, yeah, that's Venus retrograde. So on the 6th of November, this is when the North and South nodes shift from Leo and Aquarius to Cancer and Capricorn. See, listen, we have so much Cancer and Capricorn stuff going on in 2018. It's ridiculous. That's why I feel like there's really major stuff going on like politically and like with patriotism, I'm like I said, I live in the US. I don't really watch the news. Maybe people who say, "Oh, you're ignorant. You don't know." Look, I don't know everything that's going on in the world in that type of way. I block it out because I'm a sensitive Pisces moon. I will cry if I hear about people getting bombed and little children dying. I can't. But this is our whole earth being affected by the energies of the planetary shifts. So I know that there's going to be stuff going on outside of my own country. Okay. But all I really know is my place where I live. But I feel like the Cancer and Capricorn axis is going to be so like, like the energy is going to be so potent in 2018 that there could possibly be a lot of like different like countries and civilizations and organizations of countries like really come down, changing a lot. And that with the Uranus and Taurus, that's currency and stuff too, like money, debts that are owed to countries, all that type of stuff. People are going to rebel a little bit more probably against like government. Capricorn rules the government. The North Node will be the South Node will be in Capricorn. The South Node represents what you need to try to gravitate away from and like maybe extract the positives of it, but like move away from it and more in the direction of the North Node. And for, the North Node is going to be in Cancer. So there's just so much going on in 2018 that's calling us more towards like the themes of Cancerian energy. So that means being more family oriented, sticking together with your families, and your family doesn't have to mean your blood either. Okay. Like, family is whoever is close to your heart and your soul and you trust them, like you trust them with everything. But also like your country of origin, I guess, like, really representing that if you feel like it. But also family businesses, like getting back to that, like I feel like 2018 could have something go on to where we are called towards a shift of getting back to the old days. Remember how back in the day, there were family businesses, like, they established this building and they named it blah, 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 like whatever their last name, Johnson's Market, stuff like that. It was family owned and operated. I feel like we're going to be called towards more family owned and operated businesses, especially with Uranus and Taurus. The government's going to continue to try to mess with our money, our food, our resources. Families are going to be taking charge and be like, you know what? I feel like we need to like buy some land, farm, grow our own food, our own vegetables, fruits, all that stuff. People are already starting to do that, but I feel like there's going to be more of an acceleration of that in 2018, to be honest, because Cancer, the sign of Cancer, also rules food. It rules the nurturing, like the feeding of people, in a nurturing way. So yeah, when do the nodes shift? Allison, they shift. They shift November. Where'd they go? November 6, 2018. That's when they shift, and they will be there through the year of 2020. Okay. So there's just a really big Cancer Capricorn axis theme popping off in 2018. So the South Node in Capricorn, and the South Node will eventually meet Saturn and Pluto and Jupiter, but that's like the next year and the year after. That means a breaking down of corporations is going to continue. Rebelling against establishments are going to continue, but like in a really huge way. So people are going to be looking to each other like, we need to stick together and we need to go against like all these evil corporate executives who give two shits about us as humans and our well-being and our food and our water being poisoned. They don't care. They don't care. They're probably sitting up there with their like some crazy like cool ass like water filtering device. It was created by NASA or something, to have their clean water. They have like some underground farm to like make all their food and, like grow all their food and stuff. Government people who are in top positions, leaders, I'm sure they're fine. They probably have some underground capsule they can hide out in, right? Do you think they really care about the rest of us? Nah, I'm not going to get too into that, but I feel like that's going to be even stronger in 2018, is people waking up and realizing that, or at least starting to, like, the wheel's going to start turning for that. Okay. I feel like it's going to start turning. People are going to start seeing, like, oh, the government really doesn't care about us. You know, like, we need to come together. Allison says we need to take our power back. Yeah, people will feel more like that, especially when that Mars goes retrograde in the sign of Aquarius. Aquarius is about gathering the masses together. Hopefully that doesn't mean anything like any crazy mass shootings or mass, you know, Mars attacks on the masses. But I would definitely be extra careful. And once again, Mars is retrograde from the 27th of June until August 28th of 2018. So yeah, I already covered that a little ways back. Excuse me. Now, yeah, but the nodes shifting from Cancer to Capricorn is really huge for the whole entire world. I mean, the nodes shift once every 18 years. So you know, we'll have to look back 18 years prior and see what was going on. And also wherever the nodes are, the North Node and the South Node, whatever signs they're in, that's the signs that we will see, we will have the majority of our eclipses in. So the eclipses are going to start being on that Cancer Capricorn axis too. Then we've got all that stuff happening in Capricorn. Come on, you guys. It's only obvious looking at the astrology that we're going to have some crazy governmental, like, political power shifts going on, to where people, they may just start like fleeing countries for other ones too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have been plotting for years, like ever since my oldest son was little, like, we need to get the heck up out of the US. And I know, like, I may be like saying that foolishly because I've never lived actually in another country. I've only been to one other country. But I've never lived in another country or really been to like really like tour, you know, messed up poor countries before. But I really feel like maybe I don't know, maybe my family, we might bounce, you know, before all this stuff goes down, because we want to live a different lifestyle anyway. One that's like more peaceful and not so like consumerism and greed and being like forced to celebrate holidays and you know, them throwing things in your face all the time, like buy this, buy that, buy this, buy that. Like, oh my gosh, like all this robotic stuff. Anyway, so moving along. So the nodes shift, and then also on the 6th, the same day, Uranus goes back into Aries. November 6th may be an interesting day, okay? November 6th, look out for that day. See if we have any crazy shifts within government or any big wigs, any type of, you know, or just any like crazy news or something. Yeah, November 6th. Let's see. No, that's not elections and stuff. That's every 4 years. I don't know. That goes to show how much I pay attention to that stuff. Anyway, so then on the 8th of November, that's when Jupiter moves into Sagittarius. So from November 8th, 2018 until December 2nd, 2019, Jupiter is in Sagittarius in its home sign, you guys. Oh my God, Jupiter in Sag. Yes. Oh, Cassandra says, Viva la Revolucion. Oh, yes, girl. We may actually have some revolutionary stuff happening in 2018, or at least getting the, you know, the ball rolling for that. But anyway, Jupiter and Sag, I think that'll be maybe a saving grace, okay? Because Jupiter is at home in Sag. If you know Sag people, they have the biggest smiles. They're like, hey, don't worry. Be happy. Every little thing gonna be all right. That's Sagittarian all day, okay? They are all the happy-go-lucky people that are just like, they look at things from an optimistic point of view. They're always smiling. They're just spending money, like throwing it in the air like they don't care. And then money magically falls right back down, back to them somehow, some way. I don't know how. But when Jupiter is in Sag, maybe we'll learn the secrets to that. But yeah, Jupiter changes signs. Jupiter goes into a sign once every 12 years. So the last time Jupiter was in Sagittarius was probably, I'm going to say it was like 2006-ish. Like 2006, 2007-ish, it was in Sagittarius. So look back to those years, to the last time Jupiter was in Sag. And Wherever Sagittarius is in your chart, you know, that's where you can see abundance, blessings, maybe like more travel. Jupiter and Sag, Jupiter and Sag both rule the foreign. So people may actually, yeah, start fleeing to foreign countries. You know what I'm saying? Like learning more foreign languages and getting the heck up out of wherever they live. If there's some like crazy political stuff going on because of the Capricorn Cancer stuff. You know what I'm saying? Excuse, you know what? You are blocked. You are removed. You are blocked because we do not play that here. Okay? We don't play that. I don't know who you are, but we don't play that. Go away. Anyways, so what was I gonna say? Jupiter and Sag. Sag is a foreign. Jupiter is foreign. So people may be wanting to explore other countries and actually move there, you know, because Cancer rules home. We've got a lot of Cancer energy happening. And then, you know, people may be wanting to find new homes elsewhere. And yeah, just Jupiter and Sag, like, it could be all about abundance and all this happy stuff, but it's also about overdoing it, though. Like in a negative way, it's about overdoing it. So overdoing things wherever it is in your chart, wherever Sag is in your chart, you can maybe overdo it. So just be very careful and mindful of that. Daniel says Saturn is in your second house too. Oh, Allison says, yeah, because it'll be in my second house. You can't wait because your Saturn in your second is hurting, girl. I hear you on that. Allison, what is your ascendant? And Daniel, what is your ascendant or your sun signs, guys? Yeah, because if Saturn's in your second house right now, that means you are, I'm gonna assume you are a which rising is that? A Sag rising. Sag risings are having Sagittarius's and Sag risings are having Saturn really tie down their money. Okay, like hold their money down, and then when Jupiter comes through, you Sages are gonna feel like throwing it up in the air, but then Saturn is still going to be there and be like, excuse you, what are you doing? What have I been trying to teach you about saving money? Okay, actually looking at your bank account, Sagittarius. Okay, not just swiping the card and saying, some magic is going to happen and it'll come back. No, it won't. You have to budget. You have to work hard. You may have to work overtime. All of that stuff, right? So Jupiter in Sag, for Saggies, it could be fun, but at the same time, you still have to be conservative. I know it's whack, right, Sag? I know. Okay, so Allison says she's a double Scorpio. 15 degrees Cap is your third house. Wow, my third house is 14 degrees of Cap. So yes, Saturn in the second house, girl. It left the sign of our second house cusp as Scorpios, right? So it's like easing off of us, but it's still technically by degree hanging out in that house. So I know exactly what you're talking about. At least it's kind of calmed down though. And then when Jupiter goes there, oh my gosh. Hopefully, Allison, girl, hopefully we can be like right near the beach, man, with a nice little drink in hand, you know, being served to us by Dexter St. Jock. Yes, hopefully we can be living it up and traveling and stuff. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I hear you guys. Daniel's a Libra rising. Oh, okay. So, Sagittarius is your third house. So Jupiter going there. Yeah, maybe you could do a little traveling too, or like learning and stuff, you know, maybe going back to school, taking some classes, expanding on that type of stuff, just on a general level. Sixth house natal Saturn is a mess. Miss Mel's, oh my gosh. I feel for you. I don't have it, so I don't know how it feels. I've experienced it by transit, but having it natally, yeah, I feel for you. It has its good and bad. I believe every transit, every placement in your chart, every sign, every house, everything has a good and a bad to it. So I'm sure there's some good to it. We would just have to look at your aspects and the sign and all that stuff. Daniel says Scorpio with a second house Saturn. Oh, dang. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Okay, so moving along. So we had Jupiter enter Sagittarius on the 8th of November 2018 until December 2019. And then on the 17th of November, we have a few things happening. We have Mercury retrograde at 13 degrees of Sagittarius. So Mercury was retrograde in Sag in 2017 also. So wherever Sagittarius is, whatever damage Mercury retrograde did in that area of life, it may be a repeat. You may have that same stuff like come up again. Yes, just like November, December of 2017. Excuse me. So go back and watch I will be here to talk about it then, but if you want to know now ahead of time how that Mercury retrograde is going to affect you at the end of this year, check out the video that I have already that I made on, it's a full moon in Gemini, plus I talked about Mercury retrograde in Sag in that video. So go peep that if you want to see a little ahead of time how it's going to affect you by sign. I'm not looking forward to it. It was in my second house. I had to redo everything when it came to finances. The second house of how you earn your money. Oh my gosh, even stuff with my website, with my business, like there was so many hiccups that I had to go back and fix. And I'm still going back to fix and correct now that Mercury's in shadow. Hot mess, hunty, hot mess. And then I found myself like going and buying things, which is second house. And then it's like, I'm shopping, like, you know, I like something, I pick it up, and then I end up putting it back. Or I buy it, and then I end up returning it. I hated, oh my God, that Mercury retrograde was a hot mess. But I did learn some things, though. So, yeah. So Mercury retrograde, yes, it will be in Sag. It's going to go backwards. It's still going to be in Sag. No, it's going to go retrograde back into Scorpio, actually, in November of 2018. So that's November 17th through the 7th of December that Mercury is retrograde in Sag. So it's only for a few weeks, though, like about a month, including the shadow period. So also on the 17th, that's when Venus goes direct in Libra, okay? And it's going to be opposing Uranus. So, oh my gosh, there's going to be some like crazy relationship stuff going on at the end of the year. I'm telling you guys. So yeah, Venus was retrograde, as I mentioned before. Started out in Scorpio in October, retrograded back to Libra. So then on the 17th of November, it's going to go direct in Libra, 25 degrees, oppose Uranus. Bam, some relationship stuff can like suddenly change when it goes direct. And then on the 25th of November, this is when Neptune goes direct in Pisces, fog machine turned back on, dreamy, spiritual, when it's like, it's going to be at 13 degrees of Pisces. And then when Neptune is like stationed, like sitting there and like gaining its momentum back, like it's like the fog just can hit you, you know, the fog of Neptune. It's a little crazy. So yeah, then it goes direct. So the fog machine turned back on, wherever Pisces is in your chart. Then finally, on the 7th of December, the last major transit to talk about really is Mercury going direct in the sign of Scorpio. So it went retrograde in Sag in November, and then it went back to Scorpio. And it's going to go direct, go back into Sag. So yeah. But yeah, that's it. Like, wow, I've been talking for 2 hours here. I'm going to have to go back and put timestamps of the transits that I talked about. So you guys can come back and look at it. If you missed the live stream, if you only caught the replay, if you're catching the replay. But anyway, what are you guys looking forward to or not looking forward to in 2018? What transits are you guys curious about? And also any other like general Q&A questions. And don't forget, you guys, I have a sale still going on for like a little less than 2 hours, 1-day sale, 50% off of select readings on my website. I left the link below. And if you catch the replay, I'm sorry, but I will have some more sales, but I still have readings that I do at the regular prices at indigomoon.astrology.com. Okay, this is my full-time gig, so hit me up. I'll be happy to give you a reading. Also, I have the full, like, I'll do all of your transits month to month in detail based on your chart. Normally, it's $150, I think, and it's 50% off right now. A whole year transit, y'all. Very long, very detailed, personalized to you, how all this stuff I just talked about will affect you. Only through midnight, okay? Only through midnight, January 1st. So go peep my website. Anyhow, Okay, let me see what your questions are. Hold up. Somebody retracted their message. Okay. Saturn. Okay. Da, da, da. Allison says, I had a coworker and I did his chart for him. He had Venus opposite Uranus natally, and he turned out to be a pedophile. Girl, you see, Uranus is the planet of weird and outlandish, and sometimes it can lead to perversion, but not always. Not all Uranian people are pervs. But sometimes it can manifest that way. It depends on the degree and the sign and the house and the other aspects, and maybe even the progress chart, all of that good stuff. So Daniel says he has Venus conjunct Uranus, well, 5 degrees apart. That's still a conjunction in my book, at least. You have Venus conjunct Uranus. How does that work out for you, Daniel, as far as relationships? What are you attracted to? How do you express yourself in love? Let us know how it actually is. Like, I can read textbook stuff all day, okay? But I love to hear personal accounts of how things affect people. Uranus and Taurus, you have a stellium of planets in Scorpio. You're kind of freaked out about what it means for you. A Uranus opposition, Allison. So if you're experiencing a Uranus opposition of your personal planets, oh my God. And girl, I have a stellium of planets in Taurus. 4 of them, well, 5 including Chiron. And Uranus is going to hit all that stuff. Oh my God. I know it is kind of like you freak out because you know Uranus, he's going to like throw them lightning bolts and like electrically shock you and stuff, right? But you can see you will be a different person at the end of that transit. And I know Scorpio is a fixed sign too and doesn't really dig a lot of change and sudden change. And, you know, we look at that as kind of suspicious, you know, like I understand that. But just be prepared for a lot of changes, and especially opposite of you. That could be relationships. Like if you're in a relationship, things may change. You may desire more of a spark in relationships. If there's something stagnant in your relationship at that time, if you're in one, Allison, then it could be that you will if you express to your partner and communicate with them the fact that, yo, things are stagnant. Like, we need to do something. I'm getting antsy. Like, I am getting antsy. I'm losing focus here. Like, can you do something to excite me? Can we do something together exciting and different and weird and, you know, together, like just kind of be random and stuff? You may want to, you may have things manifest that way. If you're not in a relationship and you experience that transit, it could be on again, off again relationships, or just having fun, like dating like different people, like different types of people, maybe dating somebody you never thought you would date, like as far as how they look appearance wise, where they come from, how they act. It could just be like a wild ride, but it could be fun though. It could be like good experiences. Like, the only personal Uranus transit I've experienced as far as it going over any of my planets, my personal planets, is it transited over my moon when it was in Pisces, like in the mid 2000s. And that was the most fun I ever had in my life. Let me tell you, it was so much fun. Yeah, I had on again, off again dating situations, and I tried to have a long-term relationship during that time. It lasted 3 years, and then it was out. But it was so much fun. I got to be weird and dress weird, and it was so much fun. So it can be a fun transit though. So don't fear it. Let's see. You had a Uranus opposition in 2013. It was crazy and awful, but you do have to, yes, remember what you learned from that time period. Definitely. So does anybody have any other like general Q&A questions with astrology, especially like the transits? What do you think is going to be going on in 2018? What are you looking forward to, not looking forward to, all of that stuff? You know, let us know. All right. So you have a moon in Taurus. You were wondering how that would affect me. Are you talking about how Uranus in Taurus will affect you? Let me know. Verify that so I can answer your question. HFTL says Uranus is on your ascendant now, so you're an Aries rising. Ooh, let us know how that is. How is that for you? How are you feeling? Like the energy within you of like, bzzz, like you're being shocked and like, oh, I got to do this. Oh, I can't do that. Like I'm allergic to stuff, you know? Let us know. You are okay, Sunny G. Curious about Chiron and Aries. You have a stellium of Aries in the 7th house. Sun, Moon, Mercury, and Venus. That is definitely your personal planets. Chiron transiting over those. Whew. And in your 7th house. Wow. Okay. Well, honestly, you will have some lessons. Your greatest lessons in life during that time will be in regards to relationships, and can be like some family stuff. And honestly, like if you have any type of issues that are from the past regarding your parents, your early upbringing, any of that stuff, because the sun and moon are involved there, those issues may come up, but you're looking at them from a different perspective. And see, remember, Uranus is also, I'm sorry, Chiron is also healing. Okay, so you can have opportunity for forgiveness of things that have maybe happened to you, like people who have hurt you. It's forgiveness, apologies that you never received. You can finally learn how to like move on, move along, you know. You're nervous about it. Yeah, Sunny, you know, honestly, yeah, there could be some not so great things, but I always advise people when they go through a Chiron transit over their personal planets to get into some kind of healing arts or healing work. At that time, Sunny, I don't know what kind of career you have, but maybe you can consider getting into something that helps other people. Excuse me. Then you can have that Chiron energy manifest in a more positive way that's not so painful. And also it may bring up things, like I said, that hurt you in the past personally, but you can turn that pain around and help others who have experienced it before. And that can bring you a lot of gratitude. It can help you to heal your own wounds, if there are any. Definitely get into some kind of healing work, something to take care of others, something to give advisement to others. You can become like a really dope counselor at that time if you really wanted to. So yeah, try to use Chiron that way. Okay. Oh, Uranus and Taurus. If you were a Taurus moon, you may actually end up moving a few times if Uranus transits over your moon. You may move a few times, or like, and it could be just you feel antsy staying in one spot. You know, like you'll want to like move because you want to experience something different somewhere different. You just get that buzz and that feeling, you know. And Uranus on the moon, actually, your insights will be like so dope during that time. Like having insights into, I guess insights into the future, you know, like, yeah, you'll receive ideas out of nowhere, like crazy ideas. You can come up with some really good, innovative stuff. If you are a Taurus moon, when Uranus is in Taurus, the world will need you, okay? Because you will be having Uranus, bzz, 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 all these ideas into your mind. It's like Taurus, about Taurus stuff. So then it'll be like, oh, okay, yeah. And you understand the energy of Taurus. So the world will need you during that time, all right? It may be hard to focus and concentrate on just doing one thing. I will say that. And you may want to do something like have an outlet for your nervous energy if Uranus transits your moon. Like, for example, I told you I experienced already Uranus transiting my moon. And during that time, I was like really into dance. And I was really into dance and also like music production on the computer. I came up with some really dope stuff. But see, that was a long time ago. So like the computer stuff was like old. I wasn't able to save those projects, unfortunately. But that's when I learned a lot of technological stuff that was artistic and creative. And Taurus can be very creative too. So it's nothing to fear. There's some really good things that can happen with Uranus crossing your moon. So Sunny G says, you're making so much sense. Oh, thank you. I really hope for the best for you. Okay, Yoga Lotus says, rising Capricorn, Virgo stellium in the 8th house, Saturn in 2nd house. Okay, that's like a lot of like a Starbucks order. That's kind of a little bit more complicated question, Yoga Lotus. I'm trying to get like quick questions that could be answered generally. If you want like a super detailed answer, like of course book a reading. Intercepted 1st house. Okay, Oh, is Saturn your second house because Capricorn is intercepted, Aquarius in the... Wait, what's your... Hold up. Your rising is Capricorn. You have intercepted Aquarius. Saturn is Capricorn. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I'm sorry. Stuff is flying by. Maybe email me your question and I'll determine if that requires like a reading or something personal. Okay. You have Saturn in Capricorn, but not 29 yet. Do you experience Saturn return now? So, you're not 29 yet. Okay. Well, if you have Saturn in Capricorn, in your birth chart, you were born during that generation. I went over the dates in my Saturn and Capricorn live broadcast. If you haven't caught that, go catch that. I went through every sign, how it affects you and stuff. But if you were born with Saturn and Capricorn, yes, your Saturn return begins. Every astrologer is different. They all have their different definitions of things and stuff like that. But from what I have studied, experienced myself, and felt and seen in peers and people around me and clients, is as soon as Saturn goes into the sign of your natal Saturn, you will start to feel the effects of your Saturn return. It'll start to creep up on you. You will feel like it's like you ease into the Saturn return. It's not just like, bam, right away, you know what I'm saying? Or bam, like it's not into effect unless it hits the degree of your Saturn. It's like when that energy shifts, you'll start to ease into like, wow, I feel... Some people actually do feel the effect right away. I do know some people. I do know some that as soon as Saturn hit Capricorn and their Saturn and Capricorn are like, wow, life is really serious, isn't it? I'm like, it sure is. So yeah, you may have already felt that. If not, you'll just start to ease into your Saturn return. So to answer your question, yeah, you have begun your Saturn return if Saturn is currently in the same sign as it was the day you were born. Yes. So Daniel says, you carry your delusional sense of home wherever you go. You're always moving from apartment to apartment. You can also talk to anyone, anywhere about anything. Wow. Okay, wait, hold up, Daniel. What did you say you had? Hold on. You said you have Neptune and Jupiter. Okay. Oh, that's to do with your fourth house of home. Yes. Okay. I got you now. I got you. All right, guys. Well, before I lose my voice, because I already feel that happening. And speaking of that, you know what's interesting? I saw, like, you know how Mariah Carey does, like, she's been doing like the New Year, like ringing in the New Year, like singing and performing live and stuff. I guess last year she kind of like messed up a little bit. Okay. And this year, I don't remember what happened. Last I heard, she was like trying to cancel her performance, her New Year performance. And that's because of the cold air, and she didn't want her voice to mess up. And then I saw some meme floating around for a second today, but I've been like mad busy with all of your reading orders. But there was some meme going around about, oh, what? There's not any tea. Like she wanted to have hot tea in order to be able to perform out in the cold. And yes, where's my hot tea? Thank you, Sheena. Thank you, girl. So, that's because Mariah is a Taurus rising. Taurus rules the voice. So she knows what's up. It's no joke, you guys. Like, we lose our voice if we don't take care of it by drinking hot tea, honey with lemon, all that stuff. We have to. It's a sensitive area of our body. So Mariah, yes, she needed her hot tea. That Taurus rising was not playing with that, okay? I don't know if she knows she's a Taurus rising, but that's the real deal right there, okay? So anyway, with that being said, I'm peacing out. Once again, there's an hour and a half left of my sale as I'm closing this out. So if you haven't taken advantage of it, 50% off of certain readings, off of my reading your natal chart, just a general natal chart, me going over your chart and all the planets. Also love and romance readings, which are me looking at you, just you, nobody else, just you, seeing what you need in a relationship, how you express yourself in love, what you attract, what you're attracted to, any transits that are coming up that can tell you any changes that you may have in your relationship status, what to avoid, if you attract losers in any way, in any way, I will point that out to you. I'll let you know what kind of losers you can attract and how to, like, get away from that. You know, what you know, how to get out of that, okay? That's love and romance reading. Also, synastry readings, that's relationships, that's a couple. If you want a couples reading, those are 50% off for another hour and a half. Also, career readings are also on sale for me to look at your career. That means any talents that you have that your chart shows with potential career opportunities. I will let you know everything that I see. It's not just like, oh, bam, you're here to do this one thing. No, honey, I look at everything. You have talent in this, and you should consider careers in certain things. And I also let you know the transits. If there's anything coming up astrologically that can symbolize a shift in your career, up until like from like now until like a few years from now, I will let you know those too. So that's career readings. What else? Also Skype, if you want 60 minutes on Skype with me to talk about anything astrology, that is also 50% off. And also 3-month, 6-month, and 1-year transits. That means I go through your chart. Okay, the forecast, the horoscope is based on you, your chart. It's not the same as the ones you can get here on YouTube or on the internet. No, it's based on your exact planetary configurations. Okay, and I go through it all personally myself, no software, none of that, and intuitively feel out what's going to be going on for you and let you know how the next couple months or year is going to go for you. So all of that 50% off up until midnight of January 1st, 2nd, 2018. So take advantage of it. But once again, if you missed the sale, my bad. Maybe you'll catch the next one. But anyway, guys, have a wonderful, safe, happy, dope 2018. If you are watching the replay, of course, leave comments. Let me know what your predictions are for anything in 2018, how any of these transits are going to affect us as a collective, you as a individual, whatever. And if you have general questions, of course, you can ask me those and I'll answer them. About like, oh, what about like, you know, Mars and Aquarius for Virgos? Like, where is that going to affect us? General stuff like that. I'll answer it in the comments. All right, guys. Merry New Year. I will see you guys in my next live broadcast.